Now we've had some time to look over the season, we've discovered some weird things, like a free glitched item that everybody has received, even you, several more hidden nerfs and buffs for some reason, an Apex TV show and more, so let's jump straight into it. First, if you go over to the charm section of the game, which you probably rarely do, you may notice you have a very weirdly named charm. Charm underscore Apex underscore asset underscore V25 underscore misc underscore goldbrooding01 underscore name, which has the appearance of a ranked charm with no textures. So what is this? Well, I can tell you one thing for certain, we were not meant to get this. I think Respawn accidentally gave it to us, and this name here represents a placeholder name, and also the texture on the charm says placeholder over and over again. The V25 name in the charm means this charm's going to release in 2025, and the gold brooding is the code name for the event it's going to come in. But if you want to shock your friends, you can just equip this right now. Speaking of weird things, people have started noticing some strange things in Wildcard, which proves this mode is like completely separate to Battle Royale, as Wildcard has its own unique care package weapons. It doesn't stick to the current care package weapons. Last night I managed to pick up a care package Havoc, and also my friends managed to pick up a care package L-Star. Because of that, I assume for this mode Respawn are bringing back all of the old care package weapons and just putting them in this mode. So if you missed out on a care package weapon a few years ago, you may just genuinely find it in this mode. A pretty strange addition, but very welcome. It definitely makes Wildcard feel different. Speaking of Wildcard feeling different, everyone started to notice something really unexpected. In Wildcard, you can find the 1x holo sight, which was removed from the game a few seasons ago. So Respawn have decided to re-add it with Wildcard, which is pretty cool. A lot of people missed it, also a lot of people didn't miss it, but now it is back only in Wildcard. I assume they allowed it to come back because there's just so much space in the floor loot in this mode. By the way, currently in Wildcard, we only have the Wildcard version of Kings Canyon, and the normal version of Kings Canyon isn't in map rotation this season, which did suck because Respawn told us they did rework the lighting on Kings Canyon a bit, but if you play the School Town mixtape map, you can get a taste of what the Battle Royale Kings Canyon lighting is going to be once it comes back to the game. And honestly, the interiors have been improved, the lighting's been improved, and Kings Canyon just looks way better. By the way, you may notice in a lot of this season's promotional art, it has Fuse and Maggie, which is weird because they received no balance changes. Well, that's wrong apparently, because Fuse and Maggie have both individually received little changes that Respawn did not tell us about, and I'm going to tell you why they probably didn't tell us after I show you the balance changes. First of all, for Fuse, for some reason, his knuckle cluster now bounces off of enemies. I do not know why it does this, and it can be really frustrating because I shot this guy on these stairs with my knuckle cluster, and then the knuckle cluster just fell off and hit somebody like halfway across the map for some reason. So now you no longer get those satisfying moments where you hit enemies with the knuckle cluster. It used to only bounce off teammates, but now it does it to enemies as well. And for Maggie, when you shoot her drill, now instead of going straight into a cooldown countdown, it stays grayed out for a second, which made many people think she had a change. But no, she's just had this weird change for some reason, and this reason might be coming up in the mid-season update. You see, I'm 99% sure this season was meant to be called Rivalry instead of Showdown, mostly because when Respawn first dropped the details about Season 26, it said Battle Pass Season 26 Rivalry, and then it was changed to say Showdown. And also, in the trailers and promotional material, they constantly talk about rivalries. In the trailers, they did show a few rivalries, like Mirage and Crypto, Alter and Ash, Bangalore and Caustic, and they also laid it on thick that Maggie and Fuse have a rivalry. They were constantly killing each other throughout the trailer and were also the main art of the season. So I think halfway through the season, Fuse and Maggie are going to get refreshes to their kit, partly fueled by them being plastered everywhere this season, and also partly fueled by the fact that their abilities are acting up a bit, because you may remember Caustic's abilities started acting up in game, which confused us, and then he got his refresh in Season 26. Although that is just a theory, but I would not be surprised if Fuse and Maggie got some actual love this season. And in this season, they do also have a lot of interaction voice lines. They're not the only ones with weird changes, because Valk also received a secret nerf. Now her missiles travel so slow, like for no reason at all. And I think this is definitely unintentional because they just travel so slow, it looks ridiculous. I don't know why Respawn did this. Please fix this because I don't think many people have reported this issue. Moving on from that though, we got a brand new inspect this season which I was not expecting because the inspect was for hands. Yes, if you don't have an heirloom equipped and inspect your hands while not sprinting, if you sprint it will just do the old inspect, you will see this animation, which is definitely a nice and also very random addition, but I am not against it. And I guess it makes inspects for people who don't have heirlooms a tiny bit flashier, so maybe they won't feel left out. So a very random but nice change. By the way, speaking of heirlooms, we can actually see the death box, which is going to be connected to the bat heirloom right now in the menus for some reason. If you go over to the death box menu and scroll to the very bottom, you can see this, which is just a death box from an event that's not even released yet. The reason we can see this is probably because Respawn did rework the death box menu in season 26 a bit, so now you can actually see a model of the death box instead of a little clip. And when you click on the death box, you can actually see the little flare that it plays whenever you kill somebody. Although I'm sure you're all going to be pretty excited for this next thing, an Apex Legends TV series or film. Now, this isn't a new type of rumor to hit the Apex community, as several years ago there were whisperings of an Apex TV show and developers posting cryptic hints about being interested in an Apex TV show, but these ultimately went absolutely nowhere. But now we have a level of official confirmation that an Apex TV show or film could actually happen, and there's genuine interest behind it. And I feel like it was only a matter of time until this day came, because shows like Arcane, which were adapted from League of Legends, did really well, Cyberpunk Edge Runners did really well, Fallout did really well, gaming TV shows are doing really well, so of course EA would probably want a slice of that pie, which led them to say the other day that they're pretty motivated to adapt Apex for film or TV. And I'm not gonna lie, with that recent season 26 launch trailer, I would not be against a TV show. And all of this information is coming from a Variety interview where they interviewed EA's president. Regarding an Apex TV show or film, EA's president did say that players don't have all the backstory and history, and there's rich worlds and rich history of these characters and these legends that can come to life through linear media and partnerships. Also saying EA are pretty motivated to do some sort of Apex film or TV show, but in a way that respects and upholds the brand and the franchise. So yeah, of course, very vague corporate speak, but EA do realize the potential in a film or TV show for Apex, and they do realize that they want to uphold and respect the Apex brand, which is also a really good thing to hear. Because the EA president talks about players not having all of the backstory or all of the history of characters in the game, maybe an Apex TV show could be individually exploring the history of certain legends. And a concept like that could probably last them forever. Like, how many legends do we have right now, and how many are going to come out in the next 5 years? That's so many episodes. But honestly, in my opinion, I think there's crazy potential for EA just to make an original character in the Titanfall and Apex universe, make a show around them, and then at the end of the season, release them into Apex. In my opinion, a show like that would be really easy to latch onto for people who don't know what Apex or Titanfall is, but it would also bring them to play Apex if they did enjoy the show, because they'll want to play this character in the game. Basically, all I'm saying is there's so much potential for an Apex TV show or film, and it seems we are finally a step in the right direction. After theorizing and wanting a show for years, we might finally be on the cusp of success. And honestly, we know EA could probably put out a banger considering the stories from the Outlands are amazing, and people absolutely eat them up. Honestly, bright times ahead for Apex, so subscribe to keep updated, and if you get any Apex coins from the Apex web store or the EA app, use my code GRRT because it helps me massively.